And hello, friends. In the situation we had where our class completely just didn't work because technology didn't agree with us yesterday, I wanted to record a quick highlights video just to show you what I was going to go over and where to go from there, because this is intended to be for holiday or thinking of you cards, and we kind of want those to go out before our big break, so they really kind of have to get in the mail soon. We are going to be using marker monoprints, and I've shown you how to do this technique before, and it's really cool. This is one my daughter made, the kitty cat, and you can use this to either make it onto a card like this, which you can then make into a postcard, or you can make a card like this. And the original prompt was a self-portrait, so drawing a picture of yourself and then putting it on there. So I'm going to show you a couple techniques of how to make this work. Honestly, my first thought was to send these out as postcards. That may be tricky because they do have to be very nice rectangles for the post office to take them, because they have to go through their sorting machines. And also, if you don't seal these very well, and they get wet in the mail, they could leak. So we got to talk about how to protect them. So let me show you what we're going to be doing. So I have one that I've already started. You can see that I took a paper towel and I folded it in half, just like this. On the front, I used a Sharpie to do my drawing of, well, this isn't a self-portrait, this is a fellow with glasses and spiky hair. And then I also used regular markers. These are washable markers. Your normal Crayola type markers will work for this. The important thing is that they are washable, lavables. So I've got this paper that I folded over, drew on the front, unfolded, and I'll put a pattern with the washable markers all on this side. So you're going to need this set up. You're going to need a tray with water. And you're going to need somewhere to put this when it's done, because it will be wet. So here it goes. I'm going to put it in very quickly. Watch. It's cool. All the colors just sort of magically appear. I'll pick this up. And you need something for it to dry on. And it will change colors a little bit as it dries, but that's what it looks like right now. Now, what to do with these? Like I said, we just saw what happened when they hit water. So if this goes through the mail and it gets drained on, it could be a big problem. So there's a couple different options for what you can do with that. Mod Podge is probably the easiest way to do it. I have some that's in a spray. I also have some acrylic medium. Mod Podge looks sort of like this. It's kind of like glue, but you want to make sure you get the waterproof version. Now here, let me pull one out that I've done before. Oh, here's this turtle. I'll use him. So I'm going to tear off the back part. Well, maybe I should use my scissors, huh? You might find something cool to do with that, like you could write a note on there. In fact, I've seen some where people wrote with Sharpie on the inside and then used washable markers on the inside as well, and came up with some really cool effects. But I didn't do that. So I'm going to attach it on here. I'm going to move it until it's centered. Yeah, that looks about right. Now, I have found that attaching it with regular glue can make the colors bleed through onto this other paper. So this is one of those cases where a glue stick is actually your best choice. I need something to, I don't want my background to get too messy, because you want to get right up to the edges. It always bothers me when I have little bits of glue stick coming off the edges, so I always try and rub that onto my paper. I don't like it to get wasted. And you want to be gentle with the glue stick. If you push too hard on the glue stick, it will smear all over the place and get wasted. Now when I finish with the glue stick, I always screw it back down, put the lid on. That way it'll be good for you next time. Now before this dries, I'm going to put my picture on. Get it centered exactly where I want it.
It's my lunchtime.
Okay, great. Go have lunch.
I'm ready for you to help me make photos for Dave.
You may have to get Mama to help you today, okay? All right, I'm going to put this on here. I've got a little extra sticking out the back. That's okay. You might be able to see some of the purple from your glue stick coming through. That is okay. That's sticking up there. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Okay, now, this is where you're going to want to use your Mod Podge. It's not expensive or hard to get Mod Podge. You can pick that up in anywhere, like Walmart, Michael's, any kind of little art store, supply store. Just grab a piece of paper to put this on. I don't want to damage my stuff. I'll use the back of this picture. Don't tell anybody. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this, or you can use, like I said, Mod Podge is probably more widely available. You might even already have some. And this is waterproof. That's the important thing. And I'm going to take my brush and just very lightly brush it over the top. Now, if you can't get any of these materials, the Mod Podge or the medium like I'm using, you can take liquid glue, like Elmer's glue, mix a little bit of water in it, and do the same thing. You just have to be careful not to smear it too much. And also, if you do that, I wouldn't send that through the mail necessarily, because that's not waterproof. You might just want to hand deliver it. For sure, you want it to go in an envelope. Add a little bit more. Now this is going to soak through the paper napkin onto the backing board that I used. Oh, did I even tell you all what I used for the backing board? You want some pretty good white cardboard or cardstock, heavy cardstock. That will protect it from getting bent. Well, that's all you got to do. Once that dries, you'll be able to trim the edges. You might want to do the back side as well. I can't because I've already done the front side. Make sure you get all the way to the edges with this stuff. And this acts like glue too, so it's going to make extra sure that your picture stays on there. When you're done, you just trim the edges off, and you will wind up with something like these. They've got kind of an interesting texture. If you're sending it in an envelope, you can also put it inside a card like here, and then you can write a note to the person. Or you could fold it the other way so that your self-portrait is on the front, maybe trim the sides, and then put your note on the inside. Put it in an envelope, get your parents to help you mail it, and bada bing, bada boom. All right. Please share what you do with me on the Flipgrid video, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.